Speak your mind and you'll be free. Come and equal unto me. And let's go under the tree.
Happy New Year.
Under the tree, oh. Under the tree, oh. Under the tree, under the tree. Under the tree, oh. Under the tree, oh. Under the tree,
Under the tree. Mel and Tony once again under the tree, live, Nassau, Bahamas, loving it in the new year.
Yes,
I'm
Happy
telling
New
you,
Year, everybody. It
man,
is
you enjoying your Christmas and you enjoy it, so you're ready for it.
Christmas is gone. Can you believe it?
So you ready?
Gone, and 2021 is here.
So you ready for this big show?
I
This big
am
year. Ready?
I am ready to release Tony out of the gate because he has energy. He is all geared up for 2021 and letting you know exactly how it goes. So, welcome to Forum number 1.
Forum. Forum.
Forum number 1 in 2021.
Well, I can tell you, folks, this is gonna be a year of like in the same church, expectation.
Great
Explosion.
expectation.
We can get rid of Corona and we kick it last year. We kick it. We even supposed to be talking about it.
Well, I will tell you one thing, Tony. I'm not witch of gloom, but I give thanks for 2020 because I have no clue what 2021 holds. It could be worse, or it could just be super blessed, and much better.
Well, now we have all the people who's supposed to die out now. We're done with that. Now we New Year we talking
For
about
who will
living.
die in 2021?
That's fine, but we talking about living now. You know, that Corona
Okay.
was death, speaking doom and gloom. Now we speaking life.
Okay.
Abundantly.
Remember now, I like to take you back to your words,
my
right?
Word? You want to go back all my words?
No, I don't want you to go back. I just want you to remember them.
I can remember
because
everywhere.
Power in the tongue.
Power in the tongue. You getting married this year? That's it. You say my
well,
words.
you guess what? With that particular statement, I guess your words was like, you've been talking about getting rich and you can be rich, but you ain't rich yet. So you could tell me I could get married because I may never get married.
Yeah, well, I can get rich this year. This is my year of blessing.
Again.
I'm rich, but I mean I can be doubly rich.
Okay.
I can hit the
super overflow, super overflow.
I can get the mega blessing.
And that kind of falls right in because now when you go to church, you'll be right in the right place to disperse that blessing.
Yeah.
Because what our topic for today is all about, why Christian women turning junglists.
Boy, guess what? These buggers turning, and they turning faster than ever. This is Satan. Satan. Mind. Your dirty mind, you're dirty in, you're dirty out. That's what it is. Your dirty mind. Oh, Jesus. Listen. This could be a show today, but you better talk about all other things before you talk about this show because it's deep.
Well, actually, we could just go straight into it. We don't have a health focus for today, except that we can actually do something that motivates people to place their health as their number one priority for 2021.
Yeah, but see, remember now, all of us, not us, y'all, all of y'all can talk about y'all and lose weight, and y'all have this goal, and but 6 weeks down the road, the gold fall to silver.
Well, the thing about it is, for me personally, my goal is never to lose weight. I don't care what people say about my weight. I have been given a template.
There you go.
And that template has been with me. And what I do is I seek to enhance that.
You're making sense now.
I seek to enhance it.
You ain't going 300
through...
No. Good.
I enhance it by the lifestyle that I have adopted. And that's eating healthy, exercising on a regular basis, controlling my stress,
And God made you perfectly and wonderfully made.
and I love myself.
There you go. And
I love who
black
I am.
people gotta stop trying to be white. God made you black. Look at black and beautiful. Listen, I ain't going on it. But let me black and beautiful because I just see you looking at me funny like, oh,
No, I see you touch your face, you know,
Yeah.
and I went way back to where Nada Nola from way back in the 60s used to be
no,
the
no,
thing.
yeah. When
But
it bleeds,
Nada
this
Nola
is
never really bleached people's skin. It just toned.
yeah.
It just
But
toned
now
it.
these people is mixed they cake and cock and this
Chemicals,
and that,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then they burn up their skin. But let's go back to the beautiful part. Black and beautiful like me. Let me tell you, this is a real story. There's no reason to change colors because God made it this way, and we supposed to live. I can say it. The sentence I must say it. When I was younger, all the pretty guys loved me.
Like they changed.
Yeah, all of them,
It
all
ain't
of,
changed, Tony. It changed.
all of them with them white color.
Oh,
They
okay.
love me. I never had a problem. They come looking for me.
Okay.
Hey, I like that color. Superman, here I come.
Well, if I may indulge it, I will say I remember a saying where they used to say, "The blacker the berry,
Sweeter the juice. When you go black,
you don't turn back."
thank you, Jesus, for that. That's why it's important to be black. Gotcha. Now, let's go. And then some of them Rasta fellas will say, princess and kings and are
Mm-hmm.
made born black, and we are
Yes.
the chosen
Yes.
ones, and blah, blah, blah. But then we ain't going there. Let's go right where we're supposed to go.
Yeah. Talking about,
It's our new year,
yeah.
and we can start our show. And where let's make our claim. You know, the station,
Disclaimer.
let's make our
The
disclaimer.
disclaimer, yeah.
What I say
Uh-huh.
on this show,
Right.
I say it. And if you got a problem with me, come and see me. This my this is a disclaimer.
What a disclaimer.
This is a disclaimer
Wow.
because I have some facts. That's why I can say it.
Mm.
Now, getting to our topic. What's the topic again?
I think we need also to say that what we say does not reflect our religious background
Yeah,
or our
Education,
educational
yeah.
level.
But what we saying is facts, and we don't second guess it, and we don't cut it. It's straight from there,
Based on experience,
observation, and we do
and
research.
wide reading.
Right.
Yes.
So now, you take it from me. I can tell you just like it is today. I can set the ground for her because I know she can do really pretty. I to that.
You ain't cutting
No.
nothing short.
This show is to help
Straight up.
and straight up. You can say the rest, and then I can finish it.
But it's to help.
Straight up
Basically, yeah.
Straight.
It brings the
in your belly. In your belly, like they say, straight in your belly. Whoop! Here it is. You know.
It's a valley
Yeah, it's a valley. So what?
in your belly.
And then,
Or who everybody say in your belly.
you want me to say?
So
You want me to
it
say it?
don't matter.
Want me to say it? Dun 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 dun. Okay. All right. Moving right along. Don't say who are we.
Okay.
So, like I say, you want to say something before I kick off? Because when I kick off, I go on.
No, well, I did put out a number of images on Facebook, on the Facebook page this week, and asked the same question in several ways, asking the same question but using different words.
Well, woman ain't answer.
And yeah, actually, I did get answer.
Yeah, but woman ain't answer. You know why they most of them ain't answer? Because you talking about women turning jungler or turning bad. Then when they believe all them good.
Well, guess what? I'll give
And
you
they
two
lie a lot.
perspectives. I'll give you two perspectives. I
And
got
they-
two answers. One from a fellow classmate, high school classmate, who resides in the U.S. And her response was that this is not only happening in the Bahamas; it is happening on a global level.
Yeah.
So it is. So her thing is that it is happening. Now, the other person who answered is here in Nassau, and she said, no, the church woman is not turning junglist. What is happening is the junglist is coming into the church and they are allowing them to participate in the service, and nobody wants to bring them under the regime as to how they ought to conduct
Was
themselves.
she on something? Just as she said it, it's almost exactly where I can bring it.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna bring it straight up. I
Okay.
can set the pic. I can set the picture for you. Most time, woman goes to the church because they're hurting. There's some kind of hurt going on. Their husband, their boyfriend, family matter, they're hurting. So
So you're talking about the non-traditional churchgoer, someone who has been in the party world all along and then suddenly converts and goes into the church.
yeah, because
So because there's two different categories.
two different guys. Woman is woman, and woman go to the church. Both
No, but
women
you
are-
have some women that were raised in the church.
Yeah, but they're the worst ones. I can get to them. The ones who were raised in the church. Now, so the woman that go to the church for this help, they go to. I can put it straight here. The woman that goes to church for help because she's hurting. When she get in the church, now she wanted to surrender her whole life. I mean, when I say surrender, she given up everything, your heart, your soul, this and that. And so once she goes to surrender her heart in the church, normally what's happened, people have where they accept her in the church. But most times the ones who come to accept her want to bring her into the fold of this cult organization in the church. And the cult organization in the church is those ones who be all tied up and all wrapped up in all tied up and all wrapped up into this church business. Now, and what happened when they in the church, what has happened is have this two pumps. I can give you what happened. Sister Mary, who's the pastor right hand, not the wife. See, because the pastor is fighting his own body.
Okay.
He's trying to stop the people from taking over the church. So he's fighting the membership to stop taking over the church because he will stay relevant and he will stay there before
In
they
charge.
yeah.
Large
Before
and in charge.
so there's a fight going on with him. Everybody seeing to him will come take over the church.
Right.
That's so he fighting that battle. So this crew of sisters who gonna take you, who gonna take this woman of the street in their arm. And then they started to make her like a slave. Let me explain that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. The slave is where she become, oh, I can pick you up and we going by the church and we can pray. And when that finish, then what happened? She make you now when they going, she picking you up all the time. So soon I reckon she can say, but y'all like picking you up, but ain't no gas in my car. You see? So watch this now. When there's no gas in her car, so this young girl or this woman become a slave because the sister in the church, has the power of God. She the one who this young guy got to go through to become holy. Because she's saying, I teaching you or training you to become all she doing is getting you to follow her in the church. This all has happened. So now, Sister Mary, watch this now. Sister Mary is all gospel, all Christian, know the Bible back and forth. But she got a little fella in the church who's keep her finances going, or a little fella, she pray, and then when she come to church, she go by him. After she pray, she go by him. And she tell you know that's brother so-and-so. But brother so-and-so is the pipe man.
Pipe man?
Yeah, the man with the thing, the man who giving the little doggy when she want it, now and then. But that's not sin, because we still know Christian after we, oh, let me pray, God bless me, and God, I do this and I do this wrong. And they ask God forgiveness for that little move. But what has happened, the woman who comes to say and give her heart, or she vulnerable, so she's vulnerable to these wicked people in the church. And these wicked people in the church, She now watch everybody making the move. And she come and she said, Lord help me. I come to the church for somebody to help me. And look what I watching. Look what I seeing. So now she gonna step out the church soon directly because now she realized people in the church wasting the people in the street. There's no she said there's no real difference.
Okay.
So because now she been in the church for a couple of years, no matter how hard she tried to become a part of this, they don't want to be a part of this. They just want to come and worship through me to get to the pastor. Because everybody looking to get promoted in the church. That's all it's doing. So when you have this organizing, that's what I call the church. Oh, yeah, the word organization. You have to conform to the organization.
So
That's
how
good.
does
That's
that?
I set the ground.
Yeah. So how does that contribute now to the women in the church turning junglists?
So now you have this woman that come out off the street, join the church for help, and realize the people in the church ain't no better. So she go back to the street. Because now she realized I did this Christianity or I did this religion for 4 years. And all I do is get my heart broken. Because they exploit me by making me my money. Then they tell you about how put this $500 for this. And then they come back and say, you could offer your time and work in the program to cook food. Then they use you. And when they use you so much, you become broken.
I am seeing
You're
that
seeing?
that
Fox.
there is no connectedness to God Himself in all that you've discussed thus far.
Because the church, not majority of people in the church, is cool in the church. See, you got to understand how it works. When you trying to live for God, whatever you know in the past, you put down. All the things you say you're putting down. So
The
you
worldly things.
right. So you're fighting a battle on both ends of the law. You're trying to live right, but your past is always remind you. Every so often, your past come back and remind you. Well, you remember what you should do. So every time
Is that the conscious past or that's the past from other people's mouth?
other people's mouth,
Oh.
other people's mouth, they will remind you where you come from. They won't let you move on. So if your mind don't be in the frame and the right frame and the right thinking and positive, you will get caught up.
Hi, Beryl.
And this happens most times where churches use people and abuse people, the church itself. And the people so hate, so when they leave this church, they think all church like they won't go back in the church. So when they get back in the street now, they bring that demon from out of the church. And the demon they had together, that's double demon. So all they want to do, they never look at the church again. The church become their enemy. And then they say these words, child, I done been with them church people. Them church people is this. There's too many churches. Churches hurt people. Let me give you one of the reasons how they hurt people. I'll give you how they hurt women. Man, we be talking about junglers. Let me tell you how they hurt some of these girls. They get them in the choir. See, this is serious. I want you to follow this piece of message here, that conversation we have is serious. They exploit you by we having function. You got to get this. First of all, we having this, put you in the choir. They know you struggling. So now they want you to wear black shoes, black jacket, black clothes. So
Struggling
now,
financially,
they know you struggle.
spiritually.
So now you struggling both ends. So now they put that on you that you got to go get this uniform. Then they can tell you they're having a dinner. Then they can tell you the pastor's anniversary. Then they can tell you we're having a church function, a crusade. Then they can tell you the church building fund. Then they can
So it's a succession
it never ending.
of funds requirements.
Required. And then because you got your little bungy little round and you got little wigs on your head and you're bleaching a little bit, all the deacons hitting on you. So everybody, so you fighting this demon all around, left, right, and center. And so this is why when the girls, and then see, you're not accepted when you come into church because let's say you wear one little, this all you got now. This all you, because you just come back into, you got one little dress, little tight. They're looking at you, telling you, "Did you wear this dress?" Because that's probably all you have. That's probably all you have. So when you throw these things at these young people, they don't want to come behind you. They don't want to be a part of that. So now, after these guys done start hitting on you, these deacons, sometimes the pastor too, but I ain't going down that road. But so
Anyhow,
yeah, and so, but you sit there and hear the preaching and the teaching going on, and you know these people are hypocrites. I heard, the reason I say this to you, I heard stories where people are hurting, the pastor and the pastor's wife taking the young woman in the house, and this young woman, she screwed from the pastor husband to the son and the grandson. This real, this is a real story. Folks, I ain't making this up. I got proof for this. And so what I'm saying to you is that if the pastor's hitting on this child, or the deacon's hitting on this young, impressive 20-year-old, 21-year-old, that's plenty power. Because they tell you, well,
especially if you're in a position of
Yeah.
need, if
Yeah.
you're in a position of need,
yeah,
and you are coming from a background where the basic foundation was not laid in terms of preserving yourself, having self-worth, and the like. But I just want to backtrack
Back all up.
in terms of
I set the pace for
the
you.
confusion that this picture paints, because you're basically looking at the fact that people are leaving the world and going into the church,
Yeah.
looking for answers, looking for shelter, looking for support and direction, but the opposite is being discovered, that you might as well stay where you were because things are the same inside and out.
And let me give you, I can say something and I just want you to fill in the gap.
Okay.
There was a situation, it went to court so I could talk about it.
Okay.
There was a situation in St. James Road. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
All right. So that's one of the example I'm talking about.
Mhm.
If you are sitting in a powerful chair and people are young and vulnerable,
Mhm.
the power you got, you got the power.
Yes. Yes.
That's a serious thing.
Exploitation.
Yeah.
Exploitation.
So when you done beat up this,
And also, sadly, it paints a picture of the background from which these victims come, in that there's no affirmation in the home with regards to self-worth, with regards to saying no, with regards to being able to come to your parents and say to them, such and such happened.
no, see, it's difficult. I paint. I show you another picture. It's difficult. We go back in the same situation. Not deacon, pastor, powerful men in church. Okay, we call it. Let's say powerful men. Right?
Position of power.
Position of
Yeah.
power. You think about this. I bring you in, me and you. I bring you in because I say I have a safe house. for a bunch of hate girls. And once I bring you in and I carry you to church and you become like my child, that's what it's supposed to be, or my daughter, whatever it is. And I started seeing this nice young thing walking through my house, and I started losing my little focus, and this started to happen. Think about this. You think the child will come to you and tell you what happened?
Well, I will tell you why the child won't come. Because the prey is skillful,
Very much.
and the approach is incremental. It's a slow move in the direction where there is this buildup of trust.
Right. There
Okay,
you go. The trust.
and then the by the time as the child recognize what's going on, they are already fully
Engaged.
entangled.
Yes. And so now this girl might have nowhere to turn because she might be 21, 22, 21, whatever. He ain't never have a house across the road. This has been offered to her. This is the first time.
Meals,
Yeah.
clothing,
Yeah.
shelter,
Yeah. So now,
education, and the list goes on.
yeah. And
It's
so
a number of
and
things
so
that
when
are
she
offered.
break out of there, she just won't get out. So the nearest joker come along or garbage, she's just breaking out.
But Tony, you know what? When you say break out, you're
Yeah.
talking about expanding her territory.
There you go. That's how she become the jungle.
Because what I was about to look at was the fact that when a man takes a young girl along that path, first and foremost, he disrespects his wife. Okay? When he disrespects when he disrespects his wife, he also engenders an attitude of disrespect within the girl that he is bothering with. So the girl now, it makes the life of the wife a living hell, a nightmare. Okay?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the wife now can't say anything because clearly she is under the subjugation of her husband.
But let's go back. No, straight. Let's say the subject. Let's say the subject. Jungle, how, and the church. We're talking about the jungle and church.
Yeah.
So what happens most times? The mistress
Wife.
knows,
Okay.
but they refuse to talk it because they gotta save. That's the cult now. They gotta save face with the church. You see? So this is where, and this girl is voicing out just to get out, because all she hears is God, this and God that. So she voicing
But
out.
it creates a degree of confusion
It
though,
might-
in the
that's-
mind of that young woman.
Well, that's the confusion. That's why she going to the street. She come here from the streets, looking up for this, and then she say, "Lord, I here trying to get my life in order, and this I back in the same mess that I come from. So I myself go back. I happy where I was. So I myself go there because I get have money in my pocket, man lesson over my body. I can eat the best, do the best.
Wear the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drive the best
Yeah.
as well because you get car
Yeah.
and all in
Yeah,
it. But I want to upgrade a little
Let's upgrade.
from the dependent woman to the more independent woman who is out there already, who has all the things that she needs in terms of what the victim might have. And she enters the church now with a platform where she is nicely donned, well curved, well groomed, and has the eyes of every man in the church turning.
Now, man, she could be Jezebel. Yeah, that's a different ball game.
Okay.
And she could play that role in the church. She'd come in that role.
But you know, she speaks well. Okay. And so
She's
she's
elegant.
elevated.
But sometimes she's very smart.
rapidly elevated.
And sometimes
in
she
the
got
church.
all these things behind her name.
Yes.
So she know exactly where she want to do, what she
Okay.
do.
All
That's
right.
a planned jungler. That's a jungler who coming into the church because she coming for the man because she know they ain't ready in the church.
Okay.
And then those type is worse because They go in the church. They go get somebody husband.
Mm-hmm.
They come out the church with somebody husband. They go back in the street. He left all in the bag. She got all his money, his wife money, everybody money.
Mm-hmm.
So this, so this has a big,
The sea line.
yeah. Cerise, how you
Oh,
do?
Sharice,
Yeah,
okay.
Bill and Cerise.
All
Yeah,
right.
they're my good friends.
Yeah.
Bill and Cerise is my good friends, and
Okay.
it's a whole stack of them. Bunny, Anthony's, a whole
Okay.
stack.
All right.
I know them. They basically grow me up from small.
Excellent.
Yeah, if I go wrong, yeah, they cut my backside. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And they literally tell me about it. They say,
Okay.
boy, Tony, they say, and they will cut. Hey, darling, yeah, and they'll cut your backside.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
but
So back to the lady who comes into the church now, because we also have a third one. We have the third one who grew up in the church and grew up with all the fineries and finer things of life.
well, you mean the pastor's children?
Pastors' children, elders' children, just regular members' children.
Listen, they become jungle and different. Let me explain
So
that
you
one.
see, we just want
Yeah, we got to get to the
cover
one.
all the grounds.
Yeah,
Cover all
let me get the ones that the pastor and the deacon's children.
Mm-hmm.
They have no choice but being a jungler and being out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because why are they out there? Let me tell you why they will be out there. They won't be out there because mommy talk with God,
Mm-hmm.
but mommy's a hypocrite. Mommy say one thing and mommy do totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Mommy and daddy fighting all the time. Daddy sweethearting all the time, or mommy sweet. So you preaching to me, but you doing it different. Everybody in church know you're a Christian, you know. Everybody know church you holy and you that. But the children is the only one know you ain't
Because they live.
straight.
They live
you
in
ain't
the
that-
home, and so they see it being
So,
manifested.
so when the children get your age,
Mm-hmm.
they will see the church.
Or even before that age,
So,
because
but-
once they become
Listen,
teenagers, the
that-
revolt begins.
Listen, they rebel with that little thing between their legs. they can show daddy and mommy, I don't want nothing to do with the church. And it happens on both ends. Let me tell you what else could cause that.
Mm-hmm.
It could cause it because they see their mother go through so much persevere and struggle. Because people who try, the word I say, people who live right,
Mm-hmm.
catch eternal hell in this country.
Okay.
Because every day is a challenge because the enemy is always trying to get at you.
Okay.
And so every day is a trouble. So when you see pastors' children break out, man,
That's the indirect attack of
they,
the
they
enemy.
become real junglers. They with junglers who come with the purple shirt, the pink shoes.
High heel and all that, right?
Hey, they're wasting pot cake.
Okay.
You know. So what we have is that what today's woman and now it's better. Women say to you, it's better be a jungler because it seems like that's what the man wants. That's what we want, you know. But here's the trick to that. We want the jungler
Mm-hmm.
in bed.
But not on the streets.
No. So,
Okay.
but they were when you didn't get them used to being jungle in bed. That's spinning the road.
Well,
That's spinning the road. God help them. Once that's spinning the road, it's over.
you just turned my focus into something
Turn your
when
focus.
that basically relates to church women, right? Because I think
Most church women
is-
live a lie.
I think it's a turmoil and a struggle to balance being a lady in the street and a junglist when you're home, right? Or in the sheet, as
Yeah,
they
in
would
the sheet.
say.
In the sheet.
Right? Now, imagine for some reason within our minds, in our spiritual minds, to express ourselves freely sexually is taboo, it's contrary, it's non-Christ-like, it's non-Christian. How do you strike a balance between being the woman that your husband desires and the woman that you represent in the church?
Well, in the church, see, you should never live a hidden life. That's what's the problem is. You see, whatever you say or your mouth, you should live it. Like I, if I can live a certain life, so if I'm responsible of teaching the women in the church, I can tell them this is what I see. See, because the bed is defiled. Undefiled.
Yeah, in the marriage.
So I can tell them whatever you do in the bed, it's yours. And then what you do. See. The problem. Hold on. Don't let me lose my.
No, go ahead.
The problem we have in the Bahamas or in the church is the church is trying to show you that we don't show emotions to each other. If I love you,
I think that's our colonial.
Yeah,
Emotions,
it's foolishness.
Just not publicly.
Yeah.
What they call it, public display of affection. It's not permissible.
Yeah. If I marry you, I should show my emotion to you
Wherever.
because you my wife.
Yes.
And I should show that. I shouldn't be afraid to do that. And the wife should not be afraid. You will see something. When you see husband and wife in church, they so close together. When you see them walking, they far apart. When you go to their church, you don't like hear them before you hit the door. The cussing where you coming.
You mean to the home?
To the home, yeah, before you hit the door. So you don't thinking, it's foolishness. See, but what we need to do is get back in the Bahamas. Like I say, Bahamas in the real place.
To be true to
We
ourselves.
gotta go back and be real place
first.
We gotta be real
gotta
place.
be true
Let
to
me give you a
ourselves
story of church that. Let me give you a story of human that display in church. And you know, and I know, as a Christian man or Christian woman, I just started to come to the church. I've been swinging my dick all that time at church. So what made you think tonight I can stop swinging my dick?
The surrender process is not an overnight, instant event, right?
Okay, so the false, now you say the narrative, the false thing is this, that all these single people in church who ain't married, and all these single men in church, they got needs. So when that feeling come, they got needs.
Yeah.
So when that feeling come,
And they're not totally surrendered.
so they live in a lie, because when that feeling come, you're going to find your thing. And that thing you're going to find is probably the thing that you have all the time, on a regular basis.
But you know what just came to my thoughts?
Speak truth. I speak in truth.
You know what just came to my thoughts? We also need to not confuse our thoughts with our body's natural biological activities.
Sex is natural. That's what I'm talking about.
It's natural.
So we live in a lie.
And yes, we can control and contain, but you only can do that for so long. And I guess that's why Paul says it's better to marry than to burn.
So,
right? Because within, not all of us are the same. Each of us have different makeup. But those of us, we must know ourselves. We must be true to ourselves, because we cannot be true to anyone else if we are in self-denial.
yeah. So I want to say this.
Thank you.
Yeah. What you thinking about? What she say?
She said that your co-host is articulating the message very well.
Yeah,
so thank you.
You are very well. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, and so I would say this. How much percentage you think that single people have sex in church or don't have sex in church? Put it in the
Tony, why?
Yeah, because
basically, I would say more are having sex than are not having sex.
But they sit there.
To put a number to it.
Yeah, don't put a number. But you say more, right? Okay.
More.
So that fact that they living a lie. That's that.
No, I think what they are living is what they have been taught, and they have been taught a lie.
There you go. And so now let's go over my conversation. Let's take my conversation. And so, on that premise, the church, most of them in error.
Needs to get it
right. Okay.
And basically,
sex is a natural thing.
It is a natural.
So if it's a natural thing, You only can suppress it, like you say, for so long. And so then, when you see these women come from church, they live in the real world. And secondly, that's what I talking about. They gotta eat, so they will now do what they gotta do, survive in this hard economic time. So this is what turning them when that sex feeling come. That's what turning them to be the jungle.
So now, when we look at the role that the church plays, then in the church women becoming junglists, as we
Because they suppress their feelings so long, when they finally let it loose, they catch hell.
so we need to stop lying.
Yeah.
We need to be able to teach people how to
How to
address those urges,
slowly,
right?
gradually.
Mhm.
Because if you people, if you, I want you to notice, if you, just like you put a dog in a cage, you lock that dog in the cage, and that dog used to run in the yard. Then you let that dog in the cage. What do you do? All up and down.
Yes, yes.
So
Yes.
see, we talking. Like I say, we under the tree. There's no sense in here. You can't take it. There's another station. You get turn the channel. We ain't cutting nothing. And you know what I found out recently? Sherry said, since you are, you know what I found out recently? People love people who speak truth. Now they might get mad for you for a moment. You're saying, you don't-" yeah, but that's fine. When they know you speak truth, they will never leave you. They like cling to you because they know you can tell them the truth. And the problem we have in this country is too much people are lying. See, man can juice. Woman can juice. I'm sorry, I can say it like we can juice because God made us this way. This is what God do. So now some of us can't juice because they old. And when I say old, I mean they finish with it. That's what they tell you in the church. That's a lie, do.
Oh, okay. Go on, Jerry.
So, Lord in the morning, I get so much trouble. I got some sisters who's Christian, so I get trouble. I don't mind. They
You
pass
change your name to Jerry.
So, because sex is beautiful.
Yes.
When it's in the right setting, it's beautiful. When let me give you the right setting so you know. Let me go back to the jungler. Let me give you the right setting because some of y'all don't know the right setting. The right setting is once a woman head is clear. That's the right setting. Let me explain.
Okay.
And drop it there. Once you have that woman, know that you love her and only her. Once you have that woman not struggling and she don't have to look around for the bills to be paid. Once you take care her mind and put her mind right, because when she lay down in her bed and open that leg, she want to be free. Free of only person she want to think about is you.
Yeah.
And so once you put a woman mind that way, you can have the world.
At ease.
Yeah. You can have your jungler. You can have whatever you want. And so that's why the woman today, when they're hurting and going to the church, 90% of the time, Mel, the church is throw them in a spin. Because sometimes the teaching is be off.
Yeah. And definitely,
And then
definitely sex is seen to be a negative
yeah,
thing.
it's a taboo.
It is. And God knows, everybody who's experienced it knows that it is the most beautiful thing that you can experience in your life.
Exactly. So, but see, if you have church that don't understand their role, they're hurting people. See, we could preach about the man tell the moral come, but guess what? Man don't really go to church like that.
No.
See, because women go to church because they're emotional breakdown and they gotta go.
And the church really do appeal to the emotion of individuals. So that's why it's so many.
And what they do when you first go to the church, the first time, they open their arms and they make the church so beautiful. They make you feel so good and comfortable, like you ain't gonna leave. but they only setting you for the big breakdown.
Like men do, right?
A lot, yeah. A lot of men has
Men would, or they would give
beat you
you
up.
everything
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
want whilst that relationship is in its new
Yeah,
phase.
I get
But
it.
once you get settled, bushcrack.
Man going, why man should stay? Why I should stay in his other bush to weed? Wait, another bush coming young in Sweden, whatever. You think I can cut the bush? What do you mean?
Stay
Young
there.
bush.
No,
Young
no,
bush.
no.
Hold on.
So now you see why the woman is becoming junglist, because when you finish with that one, she got to make sure she could be the next one in line, so she could keep herself looking right.
But the church exploit you, make you exploit you. The church, some churches do, and I know it all. And do it because there's so
We
much.
better say some people in the church.
Some people, yeah. Let me say the
not
church.
the
Yeah,
church.
the
'Cause
church.
it ain't the
And
church. It's some people in the church.
You find it, or you ask people who don't go to church no longer, and they say, "Child, I used to hang out with sisters. Well, she's juicing the pastor, or she's juicing this one," and they could say that because they were part of it.
Yeah.
So we let's go back to our parents back in the day. Don't laugh. This real. You want me to say it?
No, you say it. Yeah, you say it.
You know, my pastors got baby, your children belong with you. All right, that's the pastor was.
Well, you know, I always just go to the joke with the pastor, teaching and preaching about the 10 Commandments, and when he reached to, because he was saying he was preaching on stealing because someone stole his bike.
My cousin.
When he got to the
Let me give you a story.
Adultery, then
think
he
what I can say.
remember where he
Think
left
what I
his
say.
bike.
They used to have church on the island. I don't call it island, but the people know. My cousin, and the church on the island. And in them days, everybody go to the project. You know the project? They go back to the farm project.
Yeah.
So on this island, only had the priest, the commissioner, and a couple of foreign guys, but mostly had women who take care of homes.
Husbands are on the project.
But my cousin was retired, like kind of slow. But she used to go to church. You always go to church. But, and she never, from church she come home. Church home. And they used to lock her in sometime, you know. But she get pregnant. So nobody figure who, they're trying to figure who pregnant. But guess what? Because everybody lock the door and everybody there. But you know she get pregnant? You want me to tell you the story?
Sound like I
You know back in them days, you know them days they have the push-up window? Push up and she...
So she pushed the window up and jumped out through the window?
She didn't jump out the window.
Somebody jump in?
She ain't gonna jump in.
What then?
She cock over the window. Pastor. I tell the true story. But this happens. This been happening long time.
Yeah, it is. It's not new. It's not new. So what we have to do is we have to come to the reality that these things have been happening. They've not just started. They have been happening. And what we have to do is be alert, be sensible, and give sound advice. Not everyone, the Bible that says, Lord, Lord, right?
Not everybody.
Okay.
But see, what happened now when we talking about the jungler coming out of the church? The only thing now is that the young girls who come in now, they ain't taking that you trying to bury me in the corner and hide me. If you hit me, you can put me in open.
Okay.
And so now they hiding their little ways. They stopping by the bar wherever you is or wherever you is. You say you're pastor or not pastor. You say you deacon or you part of the church. They stopping. They saying, "My boy, I need to see you." So he acting like, let me get my Bible. I'm coming. She said, no. Last night you read that Bible. Come here. See, they ain't playing. They ain't hiding. One time ago, the difference is back in your day, on your mother day, they used to hide this stuff. This They're hiding this.
Everything up open and
Yeah, these young girls want the same thing the wife getting, and so these dudes could play this game in church, and all of a sudden, they're getting catch because the jungle is getting pregnant.
Yeah.
Because the junglers are smart. Why I take the milk for free and I could have the whole can and the cow.
So they figure by getting pregnant now, they disrupt the marriage.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Why not?
Sadly, what is different today than it was yesterday too. Yesterday, women knew when their husbands were out there and had children out there, and the husband could bring the children home because they ain't letting no woman have their man.
Husband. Yeah.
Right? Today, the woman is like, me, I ain't sharing. In spite of the fact that everyone say it's a shortage of men, the women will say, oh, I'm not putting up with that foolishness. And they leave. So they leave and they go with somebody else who's doing practically the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? But I wanted to find out, because we have one more category of church women that turn junglists as far as I... Exactly. So, but what I want to talk about is the women that are, quote unquote, first ladies that are dissatisfied with their husbands. They're not leaving their husbands, but they are
sneaking.
Yeah.
Listen,
is that possible? Is that happening?
What you mean?
Do you know of instances
Guarantee.
Like that in the Bahamas?
Guarantee, I know. Guarantee, 100%. I can say this. It's happening in a big way. When you go talking about you praying for the sick, your wife is getting the stick.
What a rhyme.
you better stay home and take it away. Let me tell you, the wife dying
for your affection,
dying to be a jungler. The church woman,
too busy with church work.
The church woman. See, when you come home from your, what do you call that? Visitation, whatever. Visitation. And you're praying for the sick. When you come home, you so tired, all you can do is give your woman a slick in the pit. Now, you don't think she's human do? She just come from where the sister say, child, last night my husband, you think she won't get pricked? She won't get this prick. She won't get stick. She won't get everything. So what she does, she say, and then she start thinking negative. That you going out to see somebody, and you're going to see somebody. So, see, this is what I would talk about. We ain't talk about talk with Mr. Slick. Okay. Mr. Slick in the church is the one.
We probably have to talk about Mr. Slick
next
week. That's a whole. You can't cut that one short, and it'll take another hour.
Yeah, because we were talking about Mr. Slick. Yeah. Mr. Slick, who raised his two hands, worship. Yeah, plenty. He worship plenty. See, how I know, right? When I used to do foolishness, I had one church woman. So I know about this.
Wow.
Oh yeah. And see, and let me tell you about them church woman. They wear long dress, right?
Yeah.
They wear long dress. And you know why they wear long dress?
Why?
Because when you making love with them and they know they can see God, they put the dress way on top of their face. So they got hide their face. They hurry up. Oh my Lord. So they ain't got a face guard. You see, they close their eyes.
Well, they wouldn't have to face him, but trust me, he could see through everything.
No. The whole idea is they're feeding you. They don't face you.
Oh, okay.
So they hurry up. Because this is a need. This is not love. Okay. This is a need.
Just a service.
Yeah, it's a need. Mr. Fix It. Yeah. This is how it works. Why are you doing your mouth like, you know what I'm saying? I can say what I want to say. This is...
Speak your piece, my brother.
See, this show ain't a hide. This show to be... See, it's too long the humans been hiding.
Beryl, what you laughing at?
Ain't too long. You need to hide. You need to come and open, let the people know what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And so the people now will understand the little games you playing, people are aware of them.
Yeah.
And be honest to the people,
Yeah.
so the people could love you, and people could do better. We need to do better in this Bahamas. We need to stop. Your daughter get pregnant, you won't put your daughter out because the man say she bad. That's your daughter, right?
Which man?
No, I'm just saying that's your daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why are you gonna let a man, because he say he's a Christian, put your daughter out? Think any Christian in that?
No.
But the fool Christian woman, she let a man put her daughter out. Oh, you can't live in this house. And only thing he worrying about, he even ain't thinking about his child. What he thinking about?
It's how the
How
people
the
see it.
people, he can't go in church and he daughter big belly. So there ain't no Christian in that. See, and we gotta go back and we gotta be honest and real. This world is based on everybody. The Bible says all is real. So the jungle play a role, the Christians play a role, the people try to be safe.
So everybody from
Yeah,
one end of the
yeah.
spectrum to
So
the next.
take your lane.
Right.
This show is based on taking your lane. Because if you want to be a jungler, or be a jungler, ain't nothing wrong being a jungler. But don't come in the church.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, now the thing about it is what you just said kind of makes it church empty and exercise because
No, the church is never
because-
gonna be empty.
but what you're saying is if you want to be a jungler, don't come into church.
Right.
But we all need
Because when you
to
ready
go
to
to church
when you ready to
in order
train
for
from
us,
jungler,
uh-huh.
then come to church. Don't come with your jungler spirit. Come around trying to take you to church.
The sermon is come as you are, just as you are.
Hold on. Now let me answer you. I'm glad you say that. Just come as you are.
Mm-hmm.
If God can meet you, God can meet you out the church, in the bar, in the club. Most people get saved out the club, out the church. People get saved. You see some people doing a fools in the church, but come, let me pray for you, and from this day forward, you listen. God done convict you. That's why God
you
bring you
there.
to church.
Yeah.
God convict you the day before, the day before. When you're on top of that fella, saying, "Oh, hot, it hot." God convicting you there.
Mm-hmm.
God saying, hold on, this hot. You better get from here and come go in the church. Most people get convicted doing something wicked. I know most married guys tell me they get convicted when they out. They're nonsense. They're nonsense, and they say, but I can't do this
God
no
meet
more.
us all at some point along our journey.
And the church people say it's a church. That's a lie. Majority of times, it's way before that. It's
Yeah.
way before that.
The Holy Spirit is at work,
Right.
bringing you, convicting you
Right.
to come
And-
and to move in the right direction.
And we got to close, right? We still got to close, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
We still got to close. But most people are coming out of the church now because they realize the church is about to show. It's just most of them is just a show. People go, and you know why people really go to church?
No?
Because it feel good. If I don't go to church, I don't feel good.
Okay.
See, it's the consciousness.
So it's a feeling, not an awareness,
No.
not a conviction.
It's
but sometimes I think it's tradition. Because
Yeah, it's tradition.
I've been brought up in the church. My family belonged to this particular church, and we go to church as a family every weekend. And so, because I've become accustomed to it, I can't change that. That's just the way it is for me now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see Sherry's.
She say awareness, education, and exposure of the reality is a good way to address social ills, and that is quite true. And that's what we're basically aiming to do.
Sherry's, I know
Under
you
the
shot
tree.
sharp. Anyway.
That's exactly what we are aiming to do,
Yeah.
to bring awareness, to educate, to share an open and broad perspective on the realities of everyday living. And so as we wrap up today, Tony, we all have a junglist residing in us
All
as
us got
women.
junglers.
We just need to know how to properly manage the junglist. The junglist has her place,
Yeah.
but it's not in the church.
No.
It's not to distract, it's not to divert, it's not to lure people and cause them to go along a path that they least desire to move in. Okay? But when we talk about the slick, what you call him?
Slick Rick in the church, boy.
Next week, right? We'll talk about that
Tell-
next week.
What? Pin the pulpit.
Okay.
We
So
got you
when
next
we
week.
when we talk about that next week, I think we'll be able then to, because we'll be able to put both
Both sides
pieces of
together.
the puzzle
And we
together and see that it is a shared responsibility.
It's
The
a shared
discipline and the approach and all of that, but stop denying our biological makeup.
Yeah, your
we
biological-
are made that way.
And
But don't use your biological makeup now to trick
other people, and you know, some of us Bahamians we tricky. You know, we tricky,
Manipulative,
very manipulative, and
crafty. You
very
call it.
crafty.
Yeah, yeah.
and we crafty. But like I say, taking these young girls and exploiting them. Women do it. Not men. Women. Take them to church, pick them up, drop them up, tell them, child, you gotta go. You gotta meet. They go from church to church.
Keep
Oh,
it
child,
busy,
Wednesday-
busy.
Yeah.
But no time in the word.
No time. Yeah.
for growing
Keep me busy
in
running
the
from
word.
church to church. Child, so and so having crusade. They got a word. And this one got a word. That one got a word.
Lord. Oh,
And then the fella shouting, I shoot it and Shonda. Let me tell you all something now. Slow down. It's a time for everything.
Yeah.
Time for preaching, time for teaching, time for studying. It's time for everything. I believe, just my belief, church is efficient.
and it has
Two,
its place.
2 nights a week. Church on Sunday of choir practice. Other than that, your Bible.
Is a teacher.
Because there's a
With
lot.
you all the time if
Yeah.
you have one in your house.
Because a lot of guys complain about their wife going to church. And that is where problems are starting.
Neglect.
Yeah,
Neglect.
neglect. So the fella gone looking for
Somebody who ain't in church.
home gal. We can deal with that next week though. We can deal with Mr. Slick
Mhm.
and Chick Wick. All of them together. The pimp in the pulpit and the, we can deal with all of them.
All right.
But let's say hello again.
Thank you as well.
And
yes,
thank you, Cherise,
to-
for tuning in.
Yes, Beryl.
Beryl for tuning in. And your
Yes.
comments was well received.
Yes,
Well received.
most appreciated.
And I tell you what. Oh, we gotta tell you. We coming from now on our show switch to Sundays. We're not gonna do it on Friday no more.
okay.
We're
yes.
gonna switch to Sundays.
Everybody's getting a little busy.
Yeah.
So
And-
as COVID clears and we begin to resume the new norm, we don't have as much leisure time during the week anymore. And also, even our audiences.
Yeah, the
you know,
audience was
we
complaining.
noticed that the viewership
Yeah,
is,
they were
is
complaining
post recording
Yeah.
mostly on the weekends and especially on Sundays. So,
And they wanna be a part of it. They
Mhm.
wanna comment back and forth.
Mhm.
So we go to Sundays when they're home, so they can back and this is what they are, so we can give them what they want. Because usually we pick up after, so
Yes.
we can deal with. Go ahead,
Right.
go ahead, go ahead.
So, Cherise, thank you for your comment. She said that the church is supposed to be a communion of hope, truth, and positive support. However, sadly, I think the church is very ineffective. Thus, we have a broken society. So you enjoyed the show very much. Thank you so much. And we sure hope that you will join us when we resume and begin our new time on Sunday afternoons at
2:00.
2 o'clock in the
Right
afternoon.
after church.
Yes. So we will thank you. We appreciate
We
the
put the
share.
notice out of there. We put the notice out,
Yes.
and
yes.
and
we'll be looking
thanks
at
Cherise
Slick
for
Wick.
sharing and keep up the good. We will try the best to keep up the
Yes,
good work, excellent work.
yes,
So you be sweet until we see you all again.
yes.
Have a good one and enjoy.
And don't forget the COVID boogie.
Don't forget the Corona boogie. The Corona boogie. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. Keep your distance. And Corona boogie.
Thank you again.
Bye bye. Have a good one. enjoy your weekend.
Sophie, we didn't see you today, but we know you will be watching, right? Yeah. All right. So, Sophie, I guess we'll get to it, right? One-on-one.
Yeah, one-on-one.
Thanks
Yeah.
again.
Bye-bye.
Come and go, speak your mind and you'll be
Yes,
free.
Carol.